Hi, I'm Murray Rogers and welcome back to our third session now on the introduction to my world and to your journey of self-discovery in answering the questions, who am I and what am I here for? Because I believe they are the most two profound questions we can ever ask. And when we truly undertake our own personal journey to answer those questions, the results can be miraculous, transformational. And I think we all owe it to ourselves to really examine those two questions. Because after all, this is our life purpose. We are all unique. We all have an amazing connection with life, with love, with the universe, that the more we can understand, the more we can resonate, the more beauty and love we see around us, and the greater sense of our place in this universe and in our acceptance of that is available to everybody. So if you're now still with me, congratulations. What I would like to do now, because we've sort of touched on the questions and the challenges involved with asking those questions. And so I guess the next step is I would like to explore the mindset. I would like to explore what it is that we need to overcome in order to make this journey so much easier for ourselves. And I mentioned that I've put together sort of 18 concepts. So I would like to sort of touch on 3 of them in this session. We'll go into much more depth perhaps later on, but it's important that in order to engage in an understanding and to have a listening, we need to approach it with the right mindset. And we need to give up, let go of those things that stop us actually learning or having the ability to learn if we choose. So the first of these is really mindset, and it's understanding the difference between what I would call an open and a closed mindset, or a growth mindset and a closed mindset. Because whenever we have an opinion of something, whenever we think we already know an answer, immediately we are not open to listening and understanding. So if you really want to question yourself in terms of whether you have a closed or open mindset, just consider when you're in a conversation. Are you thinking about your experience in relation to what the other person's saying so that you can keep talking? Or are you thinking about questions you can ask the other person? Tell me more. How did that feel for you? What was that really like? Those sort of questions, they're an indication of an open mindset. You know, I learned a lot from my father. He was quite an incredible man. I saw a lot of his qualities of those of similar to what we see in say Gandhi, in the sense he had this purity of consciousness. He led his life totally in sync with that sense of who he was and his honesty and his integrity. And he taught me to be my word. And when you are your word, you are truly being yourself, and you can honor that. And in terms of that mindset, that to me was quite profound. So he always had an inquiring mindset. He often knew the answers, particularly to botanical questions, and he would continue to query someone who had an opinion in relation to a particular species, genera, whatever. And I used to smile because I knew he knew the answers, but he was just intrigued to find out how other people had come across their answers. So mindset is very important. So I would ask that you try to keep an open mindset. That you, as I did, come to realize that it's what you don't know that you don't know. And there is so much more to learn through life. Life itself is fully a learning experience. The second point I want to bring out here is the concept of letting go to grow. So what I mean by this in terms of mindset is very often we hang on to our own opinions of things, our own view, because it's so much easier with so much information that comes through our heads every day, thousands of pieces of information. What we do is we categorize it very quickly in terms of, yes, that's right, that's wrong, that goes here, that goes there, yes, I understand where that fits in. But in doing that, we limit our opportunities to fully understand what it is that we're seeing or being told. And so letting go to grow is really the concept of, what do I need to let go of? What opinions am I holding on to that really don't serve me? And they may in fact not be correct. Not that there's any right or wrong, but you know, they may not serve me, what I am actually thinking. And the third and possibly more powerful of these concepts around mindset is the concept I call a place to stand. You see, very often we switch off very quickly, as you may have already in this presentation, because our mind is saying, that's not correct. I don't know why he's saying this. Look, he's not relevant. He's much older than me. Whatever. And all I'm asking here is that if we want to let go to grow, if we want to have an open mindset, then make a choice that for this 10-minute segment of each of my segments, just stand in the place that this is true. It's certainly true for me, but it could be true for you. You don't have to say it is true, but if you stand in the place and have the mindset during the time that you're listening to someone, it opens up the opportunity to actually truly listen, to observe, to internalize, to ask questions of yourself. So I call it just standing in the place that it is true. Stand in the place just for that period of time. Because it's easier for the mind that way, because what the ego does is it says, look, I already know this, it's not true, or I've categorized it here, on with the next thing. Because that's your coping mechanism. That's how you've survived and how you've become effective in doing what you do. But it may not really serve you. So an easy way to sort of overcome that tricking the mind, is to say, well, I'm just for the next 10 minutes, I'm going to stand in the place that this is true. I'm going to really try to understand what's being said and to learn and listen. So I hope that if throughout our journey you can see that having a closed mindset blocks the ability to learn. We can't even see what we can't see because we're not looking for it. We're not ready for it. We're not open to it. So it's having that open mindset, taking away the judgment, realizing that we actually have to let go of stuff in order to grow. We actually have to let go of thoughts that don't serve us, actions that don't serve us, attitudes, prejudices that don't serve us, in order that we can grow. Because you can't grow without actually letting go of something. So whenever I feel the sense that I need to grow, it's like saying, what is it that I need to let go? And then simply stand in the place that this is true. Because it's an amazing journey, and I look forward to continuing that journey with you over the coming sessions. Thank you for listening.